If you watched part 1, you know I came home from Hadrian's Wall completely hooked and already planning my next long walk. But the number one question I've gotten is, okay, but how do you actually make this happen? That's exactly what this video is. No fluff, just the real practical stuff you need to know to go from curious to booked. If you haven't watched video 1, I recommend you do that now.
Just 5 more miles.
First, the booking process, because it's simpler than you'd think and not what most people expect. There are actually a number of companies that specialize in self-guided walking holidays across a wide range of budgets, so it's worth shopping around to find the right fit for you. We use one that handles everything. You choose your itinerary based on how many days you want to walk. More days means fewer miles per day, which is what we chose. And the company books your accommodations and arranges your luggage transfers at the appropriate locations. You show up, you walk, everything else is handled.
There's probably some pellet snacks on you. You gonna eat my jacket?
For a first long-distance hike, that structure is genuinely invaluable. We walked east to west, starting in Newcastle and finishing at Bonus on Solway. This is the more popular direction, and there are a couple good reasons for it. You get the harder, more dramatic terrain in the middle section while your legs are still relatively fresh, and you finish on the quieter, flatter stretch when you're ready for things to ease up. But here's the practical reason most people don't mention: the dominant wind direction. Walking east to west means the wind is generally at your back rather than in your face. And after a few days on exposed moorland, trust me, that matters. It's worth researching both directions, but east to west gets my vote for good reason. We went in summer, and I'd recommend it. Long daylight hours, the landscape is green and beautiful, and the weather, while never guaranteed in northern England, was generally kind to us. That said, summer is peak season, so book early. Spring is also popular and arguably less crowded. I'd steer clear of winter unless you really know what you're getting into. Shorter days, unpredictable weather, and some accommodations close off-season. Here's something most guides don't mention. We spent time in London before the hike began. I'm so glad we did, but it does add a logistical layer worth thinking through in advance. London means extra clothes, different shoes, a whole different wardrobe than what you need on the trail. And here's the thing, the luggage transfer service has a size and weight limit on your bag. So you can't just throw everything into one suitcase and figure it out later. You need to be intentional about what you're bringing on the trail and what you don't need anymore once the hike begins. My solution? I shipped most of my London things back home before we started walking. Don't try to make it all work in one bag under the weight limit. It's not worth the stress. Ship it back or leave it at a hotel if you're passing back through. And honestly, building in time before or after, whether that's London, Edinburgh, or somewhere else entirely, makes the whole trip feel much richer. You're already there, why not use it?
If you see a bunch of white stuff falling from the sky, it is from the pigeons above on the bridges, so look out. You must run through it.
Packing for this took real research, and having a friend who'd done long-distance hiking before was a huge help. The luggage transfer service means your main bag can hold everything you need, but remember, you're still living out of it for 8 or 9 days, so pack smart. Your day pack is what you carry on the trail. Water, snacks, a layer, a rain jacket, because England. The things people tend to overpack are clothes. You don't need as many as you think. The things people underpack are layers and waterproofing. And then there's the thing nobody wants to talk about until it's too late: blisters. Blister prevention and blister recovery are non-negotiable on a walk like this. We're talking good wool socks, properly broken-in boots before you ever set foot on the trail, and a dedicated blister kit in your day pack every single day. Because if you're 6 miles in and your feet start breaking down, you still have miles to go. That's miserable. Do your research on this specifically. There are products and techniques that make a real difference. Don't wait until day 3 to figure it out. You may not have any stores near to buy supplies, and if you have a friend who's done something similar, use their knowledge. I was somewhat prepared going in, not intensely trained, but I'd been walking more in the weeks beforehand and felt reasonably ready. My honest advice: start walking before you go. Not running, not the gym, just walk. Build up to longer distances on consecutive days, because the cumulative mileage is what gets you, not any single day. You don't need to be a super athlete. You need to be consistent and willing to take it one day at a time. 2 final things. 1. The Hadrian's Wall Passport. You pick it up at the start and collect stamps at checkpoints along the route. It sounds like a gimmick. It's actually a lovely way to mark the journey and a great keepsake. 2. This trip is a points gold mine if you're playing it right. I booked my flights on miles, which made a real dent in the overall cost. But beyond flights, think about it. You're paying for accommodations, booking fees, gear, meals out. That's a lot of spend that could be going on the right travel credit card and earning points towards your next adventure. And here's the move if you're just getting into points world. Time a new credit card sign-up bonus around this trip. Most travel cards come with a sign-up bonus that requires hitting a minimum spend within the first few months. And between flights, gear, booking fees, and London expenses, this trip can get you there fast. If you've been thinking about getting into points and miles, this is a great reason to start now, not later. The hike itself, accommodation, and luggage transfers included, came in around $2,000. That's real money, but for 8 to 9 days of this, completely worth it. In part 3, I'm getting into the part that's harder to plan for, what it actually feels like out there. The landscapes, the villages, the pub stops, the mental side of walking this far, day after day. That's the video where it either clicks for you or it doesn't. I'll see you there.